Hello world, this is Jeffrey, JJB146 Blake from Team Level 5, coming to you today to continue the collaboration that I'm doing with True Champion Steven. We're looking at the cards type by type that we expect to be found in Unified Minds based on the information that we have found on PokeBeach. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and dig into it.
Alright guys, moving on to Fire now. We're starting off nice and strong in the GGN set with this Magmar. Boyo. He's got the Smoke Bomb attack for 1 red energy. If the defending Pokemon tries to attack during your opponent's next turn, your opponent flips a coin. If tails, that attack does not happen. He literally ninja'd out of the way like a Smoke Bomber. I like that. That's pretty fun. Moving on, we got ourselves a Magmortar. Evolves from Magmar, obviously. Again, the Smoke Bomb attack, this time for double colorless energy. We referenced in the last video that double colorless attacks might actually be replaced by Welder, and they'll definitely be replaced by Welder in these fire type decks. So definitely pay attention to the attack costs of fire Pokemon, because ultimately it don't matter because we have Welder and we have all kinds of amazing acceleration for fire Pokemon. He also has Flamethrower, discard energy from this Pokemon, 120 damage. You guys know what fire Pokemon do. That's what they do. It's kind of crazy. Yep. Moving on to the first GX for fire. It's actually just a regular GX, by the way, not a tag team, which is actually super nice to see. Heatran, ability Burning Road. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon was on the bench and became your active Pokemon this turn, you may move any number of fire energy attached to this Pokemon. And I really like this effect because I feel like fire moving forward, because of the loss of Acerola and all the switching cards, loses a lot of mobility and flexibility within its attackers. And this is literally mobility and flexibility the card. So as long as you get him in the active, or you can retreat into him, or you can even switch into him, you have another attacker really raring and willing to go. If you take a knockout on a tag team GX Pokemon, for example, and your opponent has to respond against a GX Pokemon that's not tag team, you actually are winning a prize trade. So I think this would be like a neat little tech to have in almost any deck that plays fire energy, because it just is a good switchable attacker. That's actually super awesome. He has the attack Explosive Stamp, 130 damage. That's a really dope number to hit, because there's going to be a lot of non-GX decks in the next format that have more than 100 HP, so you need to be able to knock them out in one shot, otherwise that's not good. And then he has the Heat Bomber GX attack, 50 damage, times the number of fire energies attached to him, so it can get anywhere from 0 to infinity.
Well, 50 to infinity.
Well, no, you have
you have to have,
you have 0.
You have to have 1.
Well, you have to have 1 to even use the attack. You're right. 50 to infinity.
So, the one thing that I do want to throw out there here, the ability, I agree, it's hype, it's awesome, it's good, but the caveat that makes it a little bit less awesome and good is just that we do have an item called Tag Switch coming out that lets you move a couple energy off of a tag team anyway, so you sort of can do some of this without having this ability.
Because like you can move them to a different tag team, which is cool.
No, it's just from a tag team to anything.
No, I think it's to a tag team. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's 2. Let me just double check. I think it's this set anyway. No, it's fine. We can do it. It's fine. Tag switch. Yeah, it is. Okay. Tag switch from 2 energy from one of your tag team to another one of your Pokemon. You were correct. It moves to any Pokemon. That's dope. Okay, never mind.
But
true.
You'd have to have a whole bunch of tag switches in to get a good, powerful GX attack. Whereas here, you just have to have the energy out.
That is true. That is true.
So,
but yeah, that could be a big thing too. You know, you just like move to the active, move every energy you can to him, and then just go for a big Heat Bomber GX if you have like 6 energies in play or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And you could even Welder in the same turn to him and just add even more fires to him and just make him an even bigger attack if you like need to win the game. So like Heatran, I think still sees some value because he can move as many energies as possible. But yes, Tag Switch is a busted card, and we'll talk more about that later. But yeah.
Yep. Tell me how you feel about Litwick.
I think Litwick is an adorable little friendo, but and I think it's one of the only liquids we have. I think we have another one. I don't remember what it does, but this one has Find a Friend. Shuffle your deck for a fire Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's pretty cool. I wish it was onto the bench or something for basic Pokemon. Be even better, because then you could search for multiple Litwicks and then get them in play and then evolve them the next turn. But it's still pretty nice. 60 HP is pretty decent. And then you got Lampent here, the cool claymation art. It's pretty fun. We got the live coal attack, 40 damage, discard an energy from this Pokemon. Whenever I read these things on PokeBeach, I'm always like, oh, that's so broken. But then I'm like, oh wait, no, attached to this Pokemon. Never mind. Because I'm always like, oh, it just discards energy from your opponent's Pokemon. That's cool. No, it's your own. Which is fine. And then we got Chandelure. This is our second Chandelure I think that we're actually gonna have, because I think the fainting spell or like something like that, Chandelure from like a few sets ago is still legal. But this one has the Soul Burner attack, 10 damage plus discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack does 60 more damage for each of your Pokemon that you discarded. Then put any number of discarded fire Pokemon onto your bench, which is a pretty neat ability. It's worth noting here that we do have Duskstone, so we can get this out a lot faster, as fast as turn 2, which means if you have like a really like heavy fire Pokemon deck and like Chandelures and stuff, you can maybe do a lot of damage and even accelerate like Stage 2 Pokemon into play, which could be cool. I don't know if there's that many Stage 2 Pokemon that I would want to accelerate into play, besides like maybe Blaziken or I guess,
Blaziken
like
definitely,
or something.
Blaziken definitely is the one that stands out to me. Flareon, I mean, we are losing the Energy Evolution Eevee, so
yeah,
could be relevant.
I'm trying to think of like fire evolutions that could see some extra value from this, because like if it's a basic Pokemon, like who cares? I could just search for it or just have it in my hand already. But a neat thing I guess is technically this is also Pokemon Search, even though we don't like have Pokemon Search. So like Chandelure's a neat card. Definitely mess around with it because it can do big damage. But you have to build your deck weird, I think, and I don't like building my deck weird. In my opinion, I like staying consistent.
Yeah, I'm with you on both accounts. I do want to go back and mention one thing with the Litwick. It does actually just say, and you said it, but just to drive the point home a little bit more, it's any fire Pokemon. Doesn't have to be a basic. So
that's true.
You're guaranteed, if you want, you can search for the evolution, a Lampent, and then if you have that Duskstone in hand, you're like, okay, well next turn I'm going to be a Chandelure. And it's like built in. So that's kind of a neat thing. That is the end of our fire Pokemon in GG end. So let's look at Sky Legend. Got a few, not very many.
Starting off with the Camel Volcano Boy Numel, basic tackle attack. You could put Nomalium Z on him, I just realized. That's pretty cool. We'll talk about more of that later. But then you got the Flamethrower attack for 4 energy, 1 red, and 3 colorless. 80 damage just for 1 energy from this Pokemon. That's nothing really crazy. I wouldn't, if you're touching 4 energy to this boy, you're living on a prayer, and that's awesome for you. Next up, we got Tackle Camerupt, which actually I think is important to mention because, well, I just realized Normalium Z. This thing is one of the only things that have Tackle that has actually like more than like 50 HP, which actually might be important to keep in mind. But you know, it's whatever. It's more of a meme than anything else. And then you got Strong Flare, 150, discard 2 fire energy from this Pokemon. Sorry, 2 energy from this Pokemon. You could have some synergy here with Triple Colorless as he's stage 1. That's pretty cool. And then Welder, of course, is always a way to accelerate this. I just wanted to mention this briefly because they are stage 1 Pokemon that can do big damage, but we have tons of fire Pokemon that do even better damage as basics. So don't worry too much about Camerupt. Next up is Victini. I don't know which are we're getting the one on the left, right? That's
I believe so. I believe we get this one.
Okay.
We have.
There is another one.
There's this one too. That's a promo in Japan, but I don't think we're getting it unless we get some kind of Victini promo package.
Yeah, which is whatever. But it's got the Victory Stun attack, which is actually a really neat way to search for energies. Search your deck for 2 basic energies of different types and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way you like, and then shuffle your deck. We've basically been hinting that some decks are just going to run Welder plus Fire Energy now as ways to accelerate. Well, instead of doing that, you could just play also Victini and just have that way of acceleration whilst also playing Fire Energies and whatever type you actually want to play with. So I think multiple types of decks will be growing in popularity, also just because it might be a more consistent way to build decks. There might be like some kind of crazy like tag team, like every single unit energy box deck that we don't even know about. This wouldn't work with that, but as like a way to be like, we could do something crazy like this in the future with like Porygon Z or something stupid. Like, who knows what people are going to come up with in terms of energy acceleration, but this is a good sign, I think. It's Victini. Also flip for 20 damage. Good show, Klaus. And then next up, for our last two Pokemon in Sky Legend, we got Fletchinder and Talonflame. They both evolve from Fletchling, but that's a colorless Pokemon, and we'll talk more about that in a later video. But for now, we have Flame Charge. It's a trick for a fire energy attached to this Pokemon. Pretty neat. Fletchinder, nothing too crazy. But then you got Talonflame, 130 HP, Heat Wave, 1 fire, 40 damage. The opponent's active Pokemon is now burned, so it's essentially 60 damage at the very least. And then you have Flare Blitz, one colorless and 1 red for fire. 100 damage, discard 1 energy attached to this Pokemon, do 50 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Snipe damage attacks are always really neat, but again, I think there's better things. However, if I did get this off of a Chandelure hit, and it was the only Talonflame that I had in my deck, and I had no, pre-evolutions, I would like having this in play.
Oh yeah, this would be a pretty decent thing to plop onto your bench. We were just talking about there not being a lot, but this would be a good one.
Oh wait, that's actually the last fire Pokemon, because there's none in Miracle Twins.
That is true.
LOL.
There are no more fire Pokemon.
So my thoughts on fire is like, we got some neat new toys, but I can definitely tell Pokemon was like, let's not give them too much, because they already are pretty dominant and pretty awesome looking to be in the next format, and I completely agree, Pokemon, but they still give us some fun toys that I'm sure people will mess around with and see what works and what does not.
Definitely.
Also we have dope trainer cards, so that's cool.
Yeah.